So spiritual awakenings can be very exciting. They can be very wonderful and amazing, but they can also bring a lot of fear, confusion, doubt, etc. So based on my own research and experience, I want to share with you guys the 6 main stages of spiritual awakening. So you guys might have experienced this yourselves, or you may be in the process of currently going through your spiritual awakening, and that's totally okay. Everybody has their own unique spiritual awakening, but this just helps to guide you. And you don't have to go at this as though you're in the dark, just kind of feeling your way through it. So while you're here, go ahead and like this video and subscribe for more, hit the bell for notifications. So keep in mind that as you go through your spiritual awakening, you may experience these 6 stages differently. So you may have some that are happening simultaneously, or some that last longer than others. So number 1, the first stage of your spiritual awakening. This is when you first come into your awareness. You become awakened to the expansiveness of the universe, with energy, with the connectedness that we all share. And you realize that there is a lot more than just the 3D reality that you have been dealing with. So a lot of times we hear about people being asleep versus people who are awakened and awake. And that is where you have awakened into the fact that you are more than just this body. You are a spiritual being and you're having a human experience. And so initially this can be brought on by a lot of different factors. It can be brought on by a traumatic event or something extreme like a relationship dissolving. So for myself, my first spiritual awakening happened with the death of one of my parents. And so with all the stress and chaos and grief and pain, I just suddenly had a spiritual awakening. And so during this time, you will realize manifesting is real. You will start to see and realize synchronicities and how everything in your life has happened for a reason, and how you have been manifesting things without even knowing it. You will finally have more solid understanding of how life works, how energy works, and how you can actually manifest your dreams using energy and your new awareness. You might also start asking the deeper questions, such as why is society the way that it is? Why are there wars? Why is there injustice? All these different things. And this is going to be triggered by your spiritual awakening, because you see that we are all connected and there's no reason for all of these 3D limitations and structures that have been in place for you your whole life. It's basically like you've snapped on, and so now you have a heightened awareness. The second step of your spiritual awakening is the bliss state. So there are a lot of people on their spiritual journeys who get into this bliss state of spiritual awakening and they want to stay there because this is so amazing. You are filled with positivity. You are filled with excitement and joy and bliss with your newfound awareness, because now you realize, wow, I'm connected to everyone and everything. I'm a spiritual being and I can manifest my dreams. How amazing and incredible is that? You get so excited. You just want to love, love, love everyone. And you want to spread kindness, joy, love, peace, and all of the things that you know could be, because now that you're aware, you realize these things could actually and should actually be possible. So this stage is very addicting, because when you're in this high of positivity and bliss and excitement about your powers and your energy, and you want to have positive energy all the time, it is something that you don't want to lose. And for some people in the spiritual community and who have begun their spiritual journeys, this is something to watch out for, because there's a lot of people who get stuck in bliss state, stage 2, and they refuse to continue their spiritual journey. So I have some videos below on toxic positivity that I will link below. And I'm not saying that everyone does this, I'm just saying this is something to watch out for, because there is still a lot that you must learn to fully go through your spiritual journey. So now with this state, you're going out into the world with a completely new perspective. You're blissful, you're excited, you are open-minded to everything and everyone, and you just want to make a positive impact. You want to raise everyone's vibrations, and you want them to feel that amazing way that you feel. However, during this state, you will come to realize that there are a lot of things that you have to still do before you can fully embrace your power and your strength. So you might start realizing, wow, there's a lot of people who are sad and unhappy and in pain, and I need to help them with my blissful positivity, only to be cut down by them or rejected or possibly shunned. And you might start really manifesting, you might start really focusing on your synchronicities and obsessing over positive energy. So this is a good thing and a bad thing, because the more that you obsess with your positive energy and refuse to let any other energy in, this is going to block you from continuing your spiritual awakening. So yes, while this blissful stage is very addicting and very wonderful, it won't last that long. It may not last that long for you. It could be several weeks, several months, and then you're going to have to face the reality of stage 3. Stage 3 is the dark night of the soul. And this is basically a metaphor for the fact that you've just experienced awakening. You've experienced the bliss of awakening and positive energy, but then you have a pull. You're still being pulled down by the darkness and the pain and the trauma of your past. So your identity has, in a sense, had a bit of a separation from your old self versus the possibility of your new self. In this stage, you may also experience a little bit of feeling like your head is in the clouds, feeling a little bit disoriented and not grounded in reality, because you're so focused in this extra realm, the energy and the spirituality, and your focus is more on that than where you currently are in 3D reality. So in some ways, this can start to become disorienting and somewhat frightening. I know for myself, it was initially amazing and wonderful, and then I started to feel very lost, confused, and afraid, because I was basically not fully present in my current reality. And I also was aware of all this new information and this broader knowledge, so I didn't quite know how to fit in with all of that. And so with that, some people can get somewhat lost or stuck or afraid to progress because they are afraid to face the next stage. Because in the bliss stage, there will be a point where you will come up against a huge block and a huge wall of fear, pain, trauma, and past that some people don't want to face, and so they try their best to stay in the bliss state. And this only leads to further confusion, fear, and you're basically stuck. So with that said, the third stage of your spiritual awakening is the dark night of the soul. So this is where you finally accept that in order to get past these blocks and this feeling of floating and being unsure of where you are, you have to face the past and you have to face the pain. And basically what just happened is you had your initial spiritual awakening and you had your bliss state, which was like a sneak peek of the possibilities for you, of what life could be like and what you should be striving to achieve. However, you are also tied to your past energetically. So you have a lot of traumas, you have a lot of pains and beliefs and baggage that are still stuck within your body, and they will not allow you to fully transform and fully move forward on your spiritual journey until you deal with them. So the dark night of the soul is where you finally allow yourself to go back within and start to heal. Because now you realize that there is no more running, You can't hide from it anymore, and you have to deal with this in order to move forward. So the dark night of the soul is necessary to be able to heal your baggages, your traumas, your fears, your pains, and evolve into the person that you are truly meant to be. So I have a lot of videos on shadow work that I will link below. In many ways, this is a very painful and difficult process because you have to go back, you have to feel that pain, you have to feel those emotions that you have been repressing, and you have to become whole. So in a lot of ways, the dark night of the soul is where you are coming to face the shadows and the things that you have been hiding from and running from your whole life. And so this can feel daunting. It's easy to not want to dive in, and it's easy to be stuck on the other side of the wall where you are pretending to be in bliss and you're pretending that life is wonderful, positive vibes only, but you haven't really done the work yet. And so you really have to go in and you really have to do that healing, do the trauma work, the shadow work, in order to move forward on your spiritual journey. So with that said, your spiritual awakening and your spiritual journey is not only about positive vibes, and it's not only about happiness and good energy and bliss. There is a lot of pain. The thing is here is that you have to embrace all of your emotions. You have to embrace your past. You have to embrace who you were, who you are, what you've been through, and you have to go through all of the different stages of emotions, feel everything that you need to feel in the dark night of the soul, and come to an acceptance and move on, and then move forward and beyond on your spiritual journey. So the dark night of the soul, depending on what you've been through in your life and other lifetimes as well, you may be healing for your parents, you may be healing for your family line. You will have months and months, if not years, of shadow work and dark night of the soul to be dealing with. However, I don't want you to think that you are in a cloud of darkness the whole time. The reason that it's good to be aware of these stages is so that you can keep a grasp on the hope and on the future of actually being able to come out of this. Also, when you're in dark night of the soul, you may not only have to be purging all the time. You can make deliberate time for fun activities, time with friends, family, loved ones, and you can break it up so that it does not become overwhelming for you. You have to do this in a way that you are comfortable with and something that you can process through. So go into your dark night of the soul with strength, and check out my links below for help on your shadow work. And you will become lighter and lighter and lighter the more that you heal and the more that you become whole with your true self and your true being. You're basically leaving behind the old you, the old beliefs, all of that trauma that you've dealt with, and you are becoming a new version of yourself. So through this process, you will gain even new awarenesses about how to interact with the 3D reality, about how to interact with people, and this is going to make you stronger in the long run. And so this is a very, very important stage to go through. The fourth stage of your spiritual awakening is resting and feeling disconnected. So while originally during your first stage of awakening, you felt connected to everything, you felt exuberant and excited, now after you have come out of your purging, dark night of the soul, trauma release, emotions, you are going to be feeling disconnected. This is because you have literally just purged an entire lifetime of pain and beliefs for yourself and perhaps for others. And now that energy that you have purged, that was no easy feat. That was very difficult and very energy absorbing. That took a lot of energy to be able to purge all of that, to be able to face those emotions and deal with them. So you should be very, very proud of yourself for being able to do that. And now what you need more than anything is recovery. So your body and your spiritual being need to rest and recover because you have just gone through so much baggage. Now, whether or not this happens after your shadow work or in between different segments of shadow work, it varies. For myself, it has been in between. So it has been overlapping with the dark night of the soul, where you will be purging and crying and feeling out all of your emotions, and then you will experience extreme fatigue. You will need to rest and recover, and then you will go for it again, do more shadow work, do more purging. Kind of like these stages are working together so that you don't have to purge everything and then have zero energy. It kind of balances itself out. And so you might experience fatigue in between or during your dark night of the soul, as well as a longer period of fatigue and recovery once you've dealt with the big, massive shadow work and traumas and you're just exhausted and you need to rest for a long time. So that's great, that's normal, it's good for you to have that time. You shouldn't feel like you need to figure everything out as soon as you're done with your shadow work. You do deserve rest, you do deserve recovery, because the dark night of the soul and the shadow work itself is a lot of effort and a lot of energy. So even though you may not physically be taking action while you purge your emotions, it is still a huge, huge thing that you're doing, and it requires respect and recovery. The fifth stage of your spiritual awakening is grounding. So this is where you are finally able to come out of your hermit mode. You're coming out of your recovery mode. You're starting to open up to the world again. You're done recovering. You're done resting. And now that you've healed so much and you've gone through all this shadow work, you've come to new awarenesses. Now you have a whole new awareness of how to deal with the 3D reality. So whereas before you may have struggled with relationships, you may have attracted toxic, abusive relationships, you may have been used before, different things that you had been attracting your whole life, these will now have been healed, and you will be able to spot toxic people or unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy relationships now after you've healed and after you've recovered. So you will be going out into the world with a whole new awareness and a whole new power, a whole new confidence, and a whole new ability to handle yourself in the world. So you are now grounded in 3D reality with the awareness of your full power, your awareness of who you are, awareness of energy and manifesting, but also you no longer will have the blind spots that you had before, the blind spots that you may have developed during childhood or during traumatic experiences in your life, and now you will be much stronger. During this stage, you will also reintegrate stage 1, where you had your initial spiritual awakening, and you will be able to see that we are all connected, and you will be able to love better because you love yourself, so you can love others in an unconditional way. So not only are you avoiding toxic relationships and being able to identify things that you want to avoid, but you also are becoming a more authentic version of yourself, to where you can speak your needs, you can be who you truly are, and you don't have manipulative or toxic tendencies in yourself either. So you will be able to connect with others in a more authentic way. And the sixth stage of your spiritual awakening is finding your purpose and what you are meant to do on this earth. So now that you have healed from your past, you've healed from prior lifetimes, you know that you're a powerful spiritual being. Now you find your purpose. Now, this can be something that you figure out, you know exactly what it is, or it can be something that is an ongoing process. And so you have to be open, you have to allow yourself to follow your heart and follow your natural talents and abilities, and allow everything to unfold for you. You will have a newfound strength and power and passion about life and about what you are meant to do, and you will want to fulfill that. You will feel that you can make a difference, and so you will continue your life in fulfilling your purpose and why you are here on earth and what you're meant to do. So we all have natural talents and abilities. We all have a calling. So when you finally heal all of the chatter and all of the different things that have been holding you back, you will be able to feel and hear your calling a lot stronger, and it will just start coming naturally to you. It'll be more effortless and it will be more spontaneous. You won't have to fight yourself and fight with your negative beliefs and fight with your life in order to complete your purpose. So this is a very wonderful, liberating process and very fulfilling when you can get to the point where you are actually living your purpose and you are actually doing the thing that makes you feel passionate about life, enthusiastic, and feel like you're making a difference. You will also be able to use your new energy and your whole energy a lot more powerfully. So when you're manifesting, when you are out in the world, you will be more powerful. Your energy and your aura is now completely different than it was before you began your journey. And it is a lot stronger and a lot more potent, powerfully potent. So you will be able to manifest things much more quickly, much more powerfully. Your beliefs will be in line, your purpose, your energy will be in line. Everything will kind of line up and you will be in alignment and you will be flowing with your purpose and flowing with your power. This is an ongoing process of learning. You may be experiencing any number of these things later on as well as earlier. You may have different variations of how these stages come up, and it is all fine. It doesn't have to go in order of the stages. And so this is just to help you find some awareness on your spiritual journey. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Remember, as always, you are so powerful. Feel free to comment below if you have any questions, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!